Yes, and adoption of today's agenda.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Bowman,
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Gross.
Yes. Public forum for anybody that would like to speak regarding Board of Equalization today.
Will not start public.
Seeing none get up, we will close the public forum and move on down through our agenda. Discuss and act on over-under reports. Good morning.
Morning. For Holger and York County Assessor, these are your over-under reports for this meeting. And these are the result of people out there, valuation notices that they received this year. You'll note there are two different reports that were delivered to you yesterday by email.
Kurt, on the first page of the over under report is the 6-page report. One of those would show up on the protest hearings. Does that clear up the protest hearings also? That's for the parcel 9300 37278, Lee's Legendary Marbles. Does that?
No, this one's just correcting a land survey was done. This is just correcting the square footage out there at that lot.
Okay.
So no, answer.
So there's still protest on that,
Yeah.
which is particular, that parcel.
Right.
Thank you.
And I think they're coming in this evening. or
I
at some
can't
point
remember where, but I know.
For their hearing. No, there was one protest that was withdrawn.
27.
It was the second to last one there, the 930036891. They had initially filed a protest and they came and visited with me and then we got it figured out. And so then they withdrew their protest.
Any other questions or discussion on the first over-under report?
When you write in there, like for instance, on the Spring Lakes Estates, till land study can be conducted. Is there, and I know there was some on some other ones too. When is that something your office is gonna do
Yeah, that'll be on my list of things to do this
for the next year?
Summer, I guess, or halfway through summer, fall, yeah. Yeah, those are ones there when we got to looking at it after visiting with their association treasurer. For whatever reason, since those lots were created, there's been no square footage or acre totals on any of those lots. So we got to get that determined first before we move forward, so.
And then there was about the commercial, and that the commercial is in process, right?
Right. Yep, that'll be that's in this phase 1 of the commercial redevelopment project.
Okay. I would move for approval.
One second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Overmeyer,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes. All right, and then we have a second report.
These are fairly straightforward as Kurt's representing them, so I move to approve the second report.
Thank you.
Second.
Perfect. Any other discussion? I will abstain as my name is on two of these parcels. Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Burgess.
Yes.
And Gross.
Abstain. All right, perfect.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. All right, so we are ready to start property protest valuation, property valuation protest. There we go. Get it in the right order. So we've got a few of them scheduled here. Scott? So we're gonna take up 15, 16, and 17. Scott Myers. All right, come on up. We've got 4 more minutes, but if you're here and we're ready, if you're ready, we're gonna go. Okay, very good. Deputy Clerk will swear you in, and then we'll have you state your name and address, and then we can go from there. Sorry, I talked to you, I forgot to talk to you. Just the wordage. Okay, just,
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Perfect. Okay, thanks. Go ahead, name, address, and then tell us what you want to tell us about your protest.
Alrighty, cool. My name is Scott Myers. Obviously, I've never been here before. I am a personal representative for Wayne Schipperling. I don't own a house yet. I always heard people, talk about taxes and whatnot, But anyway, I guess cut to the chase here. Wayne's properties here. I guess I had his houses appraised only because he died, and I guess the PR getting rid of everything, and so I wanted an idea, hey, what are these houses worth? Nobody's lived in them for 30 years, other than one that he was in. And obviously the garage was being used. I think that's Jerry Olson's old property, but anyway, that's besides the point. But not sure what I want to say here. Just kind of see a pretty big difference in the appraised value versus what the assessed value is, I guess. Not sure here. Maybe I'm not supposed to be talking about these houses in order here or not. I don't know.
No, you're fine.
But we just had an auction here, open to the public, to sell all these. So they sold last month. They haven't closed yet, but two of the properties were actually 3 of the properties sold for above the appraised values, but still below the assessed values. And one property, I guess, sold quite a bit below the appraised value. Anyways, I'm not sure what else to say here.
Very good, yeah.
Just I see some big differences, I guess, and just wanted to bring that before you. I'm sure other people have done that, I guess. Oops.
Very good. All right. Yeah, no, that's good information. You provided the appraisals. So we'll review that. Assessor will review that. It's good to know that, that you have the auction. And you said that it wasn't closed. Are those values public?
What do you mean?
What they sold for?
Oh, I believe they would be. I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all public information, I think.
Sure. Okay, very good. Any other questions or comments from the board?
Other than Kurt, are these some that you're going to inspect for greater condition, or do we feel like we're good on them?
I'll review the appraisals that were
Okay.
sent along, and if I want to further look at them, if I can, since they sold, I don't know if I'll be able to
Sure.
do that or not. That might be a little tricky trying to coordinate that.
But they haven't sold, so they are still in.
It's still, yeah, so, we'll see. We'll see.
They've sold, but they don't close until Thursday, I guess, so.
Oh, okay,
But anyway,
very good.
I guess what's your guys' take on a property? I don't own a home, but I did purchase a shop out here on 509 West Nodes Road. It's just an old beater shop that'll serve my purpose, in life. I had given $81,000 for that. I know that's totally off topic here. We're not here to talk about that, but I just kind of want to bring it up here because I'll talk to you next year about it. But I had paid $81,000 for it, and I talked to Miss Northwest next door, and she said, "Well, did it hit the open market?" I said, "No, it was just, I was renting the place, and They said, I'll sell it to you for X amount, so I did that, and she said, it sounds like you got a good deal. I said, okay, we'll leave it at that, but, so then here, one of these houses, we did purchase, for 42,000, the appraised value was 60,000. It was on the open market, yet it sold for 18,000 less than the appraised value. You know, what's your guys' take on something like that?
Sure, yep. So this board doesn't set the values. We can evaluate whether or not you're equalized with the rest of York County. And so the process of putting a value on it is tasked at the assessor's office. And so they do take into account the sales, and then that gets put into the system to put an equal value on all of the properties in that area. And so, and then basically this is the process where if you say, okay, I don't feel I'm equal with my neighbor, then we get the chance to take a look at that and work with the assessor to find whether or not we agree that that's a equal value.
Fair enough. All righty.
And I guess one other thing I'd add to that is 90% of the time, the assessor's office doesn't get the opportunity to see inside some of these houses.
Right.
They look okay on the outside, and so we're comparing an apple to the next apple, and the inside maybe partially finished or under construction, as some of these pictures are showing. So grade and condition, allowing for an internal inspection on some of this. That's one thing I think a lot of people miss is, I know Kurt's group in the assessor's office is willing to look at some of these things if given the opportunity, so.
All righty. Fair enough.
Yeah, I literally yesterday went and inspected a home. They filed a protest. They asked that I come look at it from the outside. New siding, new, stone on the front, looked beautiful on the outside. You got inside, nothing but studs. But we don't know that until we're
Nothing
inside.
but what? No?
It's down to studs.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, not a piece of drywall in there. So
Okay. Very good. So we will review it with Kurt. Kurt has the information. He will make a recommendation, and then on the 21st of July is when we will make decisions on these protests, and then you'll get a notification. If you disagree with our determination, then there is the opportunity to take that to the state, and they would review it.
Fair enough.
All right. Very good. Thanks so much.
I don't need to come back for the rest of them then, right?
You don't have to.
We'll leave it be. Y'all have a good day.
All right, thanks. All right. Cliff and Patricia? All right, come on up. Protest number 20. All right, so we'll have you swear in and then state your name and address, and then we can go from there.
You guys raise your right hand. You do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
All right, thank you. All right. All right.
Do I
Floor
need
is
to start?
yours. Yep, go ahead and state your name and address, and then.
My name is Patricia Huffman. I live at 1404 Rail Drive here in York, Nebraska.
Thank you. Floor is yours. Tell us what your, what you have for a protest.
Okay, we have property in Benedict, Nebraska, which is about a half a block of land that has no services, no buildings. It's got some older trees on it and some asparagus. The evaluation or current evaluation for this year is $11,800. The prior balance or assessment was $5,900. I don't believe that land in Benedict is worth $6,000 more this year than it was last year.
It doubled,
Mhm.
doubled in valuation.
There's, Benedict isn't like Waco and Bradshaw and McCool, totally different as far as the village itself. It's not up and coming like a lot of the other villages are. So to get that kind of, anything out of that property would be never close to $11,800.
There's gravel roads on all sides of that property too, correct?
Well, there is the paved, north-south roads paved.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah.
Did you happen to look at neighboring lots?
I
Are they,
did not, because I don't think there's another lot that's as clean as this lot in Benedict.
Mhm.
There might be one on the east side, but it's not maintained or anything.
okay,
We do keep this one mowed due to the village restrictions.
Yeah, the only other lots in Benedict that would be similar to theirs are those that will keep coming up and hold off at the sheriff's auction.
Mhm.
Clear on the northeast quarter.
But to compare this to other villages, like I said, Waco and Bradshaw, McCool, it's not right, because those places are building, they're not stagnant like Benedict. There's not much in Benedict except what? We have PK's restaurant, the
Yeah.
elevator barely operates. School's gone. Houses are going to downhill. So
very good.
that's my story.
All right, very good.
If I may.
Yeah, for sure.
Paul Huffman, I live at 10286 Highway 66 in Louisville. I have legal power of attorney for these properties in Benedict. I'm curious what triggers this kind of a change in Benedict. Does the village board trigger that, or is this purely from the county level? How does this kick off?
So it would be from the county level. So all the valuations are driven from the county level. I don't know if Kurt has if there was a specific reason that Benedict was adjusted off the top of your head. Do you have a?
This particular parcel, there was a land obsolescence on that.
Okay.
That was removed.
Okay,
So,
very good.
and the land values in Benedict are compared to sales in Benedict, not to other towns in the
Right.
county.
So, so in review, his office had there was what is called an obsolescence on your lot. And that's a process that Kurt's office is going through and evaluating those. And so that was removed on your,
What is
and so
that?
it was a way in the old system to change values, and it's not as equal in the new system as it was in the old system, and so his office has to go through and review all of those. And so it was removed on your lot, and so that's why your lot saw the increase. And so the value, the land, like Kurt said, the land value on your lot is he comes up with that value based on other sales in Benedict, not necessarily in other villages within York County. It's all within Benedict.
Okay.
Comments or questions from the board?
Is there a limit to how much this can go up? Because 100% increase seems pretty steep.
Sure. Yep. Unfortunately, there's not. There's no, the legislature has never put a limit on what values can increase. So we'll take your statements, take a look at that. Again, Kurt will make us a recommendation, and then we'll make a ruling on the 21st. You'll get that notice then. And then, yeah, if you disagree with what this board decides, then it can be appeal to the state.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for coming in. All right, so our next one is scheduled at 10:20. So we will,
And she has 23
and 45. Yep.
The obsolescence been applied due to the fact there is no improvements to city sewer, water.
I have no idea. That was all done years ago. And that's kind of the whole thing behind the tiered square foot pricing is you don't have those land obsolescences anymore because as there's more land, the bigger the lot, the more the rate goes down on the value per square foot.
Yeah, and I agree with that if all things are the same, like a lot that you can go put a house on it because it's got sewer, water hookup availability. To me, that all makes sense. But there seems like there's no lessening of the assessment for those lots that don't. I mean, they're 100% right. I mean, you're both 100% right. The way the system currently is, in my understanding. Or you're 100% right for what the system is, but to me, they're 100% right. The reality is, if I'm gonna buy a lot in Benedict, name the village, don't matter. If they're equal value and I can go buy them at equal value, which is, the purchase should be driven, the sales should drive the assessments inevitably. Why would I ever buy a lot in one of these towns that is unimproved upon so I can pay taxes when I go buy another lot that has all those amenities? I'm not criticizing, I'm just, that's the thing to me that's broken in this system right now that I just really, really struggle with.
But people buy it, there's value.
I agree, there's a
to
value.
people
Yeah.
purchasing them. So, like this is, I think this one, Randy and I stopped, we talked yesterday about floodplains. This one's not even a floodplain, this is just a flat piece of ground.
It's a flat piece of ground. Yeah, I mean,
I know, I honestly don't know why there was an obsolescence ever put on that one.
We can make an assumption.
Sure, and then I think those obsolescences probably weren't done in an equalized fashion either.
yeah,
That's the problem.
I guess that's my question is, the county, can we agree that a lot in the village that is improved, that has improvements of water and sewer is worth X amount more than one that isn't? Because like a town like Benedict and towns like Bradshaw, Waco, a lot of these villages aren't gonna have the money to supply that,
Right.
to supply the infrastructure to support these houses. Is that within our purview, I guess, as a county to make those decisions?
As long as you're all equalized, but you gotta determine which lots aren't, and then
And any of your information that you get on these vacant lots, do you know if they're sewer capabilities or not? You don't have access to them?
I've not asked, and then also the ones, unless they bring it up, everything not asking that, so.
Typically, going back, a lot of years when I worked for WIAD, we did a lot of work in Gresham. And we worked throughout Gresham, and all of them had, whether it was very good water and or sewer, but all of them had access within the corporate, to that stuff. And I'm guessing these small communities have it. Now, whether it's that good or not is a good question, but when I looked at this one, for instance, their lot's different, but there are other lots in town, and if you use the square footage, it's there. There are some other lots there, so
I'd assume the water and sewer run by
it's probably somewhere.
somewhere.
Usually, especially when you see just to the north of this, there's houses to the north, there's businesses to the south. I mean, they're
House to the east.
probably gonna be there.
Is it paved on just the east side or is that
It's
gravel?
the, no, it's the,
East.
and I know there is water and sewer that run down that street.
Right next to Moorville there.
Yeah.
So. And I think, a lot of it is, as we see it, is the shock factor. That you say, yes, I get it. The shock of this went from here to here. Because we're gonna see that throughout
Yeah, that's gonna be the
the protests. Most of it is on open land, that have these obsolescence moves. That's where, they come to us and you feel for them, but yet,
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know Kurt's not wrong
Right.
because of the way the system's built, but to me, it's still a broken situation.
Well, it's like with the rural reds too. I'm looking at moving them to a tiered acre, similar to like a tiered square foot. But the system doesn't allow me to subtract the road miles from, or the road acres from that like we do right now. So that's why I'm
So like,
holding off on doing that because I don't want to start assessing value to road when, it's not been the practice in the past either, so.
so in like the Huffman situation, would it behoove them to break that one parcel into two parcels? Probably not,
Probably not unless they wanted to sell it and it depends on what they want to do. I mean, if they,
because your tax on your first square footage is, then goes down.
right, you want to keep it as one
Right.
unless they're wanting to sell it.
I just,
Try to develop.
I'm asking some of these questions to make sure
Sure.
my brain stays square on.
Kurt, did anybody else ask for a breakdown
No,
of
a
that?
copy of that.
Yeah, I think that would
That
help
would be
just
helpful.
a little bit.
That's-
Yes, you can have
So
it
we're
back.
more or less working through a process of fixing an old system.
No, we
Getting
can't
more
fix
people.
it. We can't fix it here.
No, but I mean,
Well,
taking obsolescence off, which,
That's right, Kurt's.
and bringing everyone back into a system that is
keep
more equal.
very much so.
Well, and the new book or whatever it is.
Because even, my property here in town, up to 2-3 years ago, had an obsolescence on it for no reason. And when I went in and, so when I had that lot that I merged, when I went in to buy that particular lot, I talked to her about it. And it's like, well, there's obsolescence on your property. Why?
There's no reason why.
No. So the assumption is, it was emergency when people came in complaining that was for 122 over it.
Across how dangerous it is.
Yeah,
Do it.
probably good,
Put
yeah.
an obsolescence on that for 10% or 20%, they'd be happy to get gone. But it sure wasn't. Because it was. Everything's back to zero now.
Copies for everyone.
Attorney and clerk. Beautiful, thank you.
And I don't know what you were going to, Paul, and I know you've been very busy. You were gonna, like a breakdown on York 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, your map, area maps.
Because I think you told me 5 was kind of like the Paradise Estates area.
East side of
One.
town, new development on the east side.
1 is the ghetto where I live. So in case anybody, that's where 1's at. And I don't know where the rest of it necessarily are at.
Country Club area is kind of two, I think, map area two.
What'd you say?
Country Club area is like the map number, map area two.
Okay. Where do you live?
The country club area is the second lowest.
I live in two areas.
I don't know,
Over here
you
and
got a
also
north
there.
and south place.
Yeah.
No, it's a close.
You lost my number.
It's not.
There's York 3 is 250, and York 4 is 250, and York 2 is 225.
Oh, so that's what they use for that allocation.
He talked to me
Yeah,
about
you're
it.
right. 450.
So,
What's your
tier
five?
square footage for
That's like
each
your
house.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
The first east side of town,
10,000.
and then across the street, it's there, so.
450 for the map area size. And then the next 20,000 square feet is
You know, that mix
25.
of houses in the country club area. I can
Next
see
million
that.
square feet is
No, I do too.
75.
There's-
Did he have their family there?
shoot, I used to
One,
go off the rents of the house,
First
right?
10,000,
Very
Well,
east
so-
side.
50,
Right.
75 cents.
But no, did he have any like
Then
white children?
Bradshaw, they're
Well
all
maintained,
one
still.
map area, 75 cents, 25.
Got it.
Kind of makes sense.
It's extremely little.
On that first.
Nothing.
Yeah.
She bought that house.
So if you have a,
Oh,
if you have a 1,000 or 10,005 foot lot,
So
your
everybody
first
will
10,000 would be, and you live in map 2. Your first 10,000 would be at
And
like
nice.
$255 a square foot. And then your next 5 square feet would be at the dollar line.
So it doesn't, the whole mass doesn't go down because it's a big mass.
Correct. Nope.
Everybody pays the same for the first chunk.
Yep.
Yeah, the house, I have for next year, next school year in Lincoln, it's pretty old. But
Because
Your
it doesn't-
fence looks nice.
that guy had
I
to do a
think
lot
it
of
does look
foundation
nice.
work.
I like
Is it
it.
alphabet town?
Until Ricky gets
Over
in
by
there.
27th Street.
Well,
It's
he likes to run the
Once
fence.
it on
Ugly.
porches.
I hope you have a gun.
Just like.
Oh, you.
Hey, it's not as bad as it used to be, there's like family living up there.
We did it, we started
You needed
doing
to
it
get
last
us
Thursday.
Oh, okay.
No, that area, used to be a lot worse.
I still
I
have
don't
to
know
work
where
down
to
in the other
with
house.
that.
There's still stuff
Yeah.
that needs to be done, but we're kind
I can't own a
Things aren't
handgun yet,
done
I'm
in
21.
that house.
But you're
yet.
calling,
Not
kind
legal.
of.
Well, I can't buy one.
The
Gotcha.
dogs, they love it. I told them, John, the dog park would have enough houses.
For dairy purposes.
No, you made the dog park because there was no, but the fence looks good. Why is it on the north side jogged around?
That's
What
for the
is
shades,
this
but then also
board's
so that you
feelings
can't get
on
underneath.
the ones that we're not gonna hear
Because it's just
protest
full of
on?
Gotcha.
Like in our dead space here,
So
should
they
we
have plenty to run.
talk about some of those? Or do we want- Kurt hasn't had a chance to review those, so he doesn't have recommendations or anything, and so we can wait, and then next week, when we have recommendations, we can.
No, we
go
had
through
to just
them.
solid on the east side,
Perfect.
because we didn't want to mark it in the papers. If they, we didn't want to look it over. They can't even see it.
Hopefully. They were
And there's
supposed
gonna
to be
be
15 minutes early, so they're already.
Gardens and stuff.
I wonder if next year we just say, they start at 9:40, everyone meet at 9:40.
Yep, or at the most, give them 5 minutes scheduling. And if they have 3, like this is where we got screwed up. That gentleman that started. had
Are you gonna move your
3,
chickens?
We scheduled him 3
Right.
slots.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's a half
Oh.
hour time.
So when's our next one scheduled for?
Our roosters are, I mean, they're
And
fine,
20?
they're,
She's got 2.
So I have time to
Next
go use the
door.
rest. I'll
You-
probably grab
yes.
a Bob.
Yes.
And then.
I mean,
10:30 is not gonna be here this morning, you said, but it's gonna try to be here this evening.
Where did you grab the drink? He said he's
I mean,
gonna-
they're hot.
Breaker downstairs, just got a
I don't-
Cat.
kind of the honor cash.
Oh,
She works on the city.
Table snack.
She lives next
Oh.
door. And shot next door.
Sunshine Club.
Probably something I shouldn't learn.
Diabetic station.
Talking about
And they're beautiful.
How can you come then?
4 a.m.
I've been trying to get.
Move from the upstairs down to the main
It's kind
floor.
of hard to take a short laser and stick it in. Established spot.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're
Because all
welcome.
you're gonna have.
So I saw you walking
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you live.
Crap.
And so Becky started in place that, you know, we,
828. Chicken noodle soup.
Yeah,
we could take them.
Are you-
and we'll
We're
take
in
them.
session, but yeah, what do you,
So it's recording?
it is recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Careful what you say.
Well, some other people might want to know this. I'm pretty sure it
was last year or whatever, there was a published list of who was doing protests.
Yeah, we might have.
Is that something, I would like a copy of those.
Yeah.
Is that possible? Say yes. Just
on
the
the-
list,
You're smart about it, ask the clerk.
but it's not listed.
It's not listed out on the agenda.
Last year, I'm sure last year it was.
Yep, I think it
The
was.
time's
That's all it would be is,
Yep.
you know,
You want a copy of this, is what you're saying.
not that one. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Okay. How many are you doing at 5:30?
11. 9.
Will that be recorded?
Mhm.
Okay. I won't be here.
Come on, we have to be here.
So, okay,
Open records request form, huh?
Our map area is on GIS.
I don't care. So, okay, so how do I get
Can
that?
you print off this, Lindsay?
Or can you tell them out there it's okay to do that? Because I'd like this one from this morning and the one for 5:30.
See, just the name, right?
I don't care.
It'd probably be easiest to just
Yeah, I
make a
think,
copy of that.
right, yeah. If you want them all, then, it's probably this list and then the next list. Don't ever say we don't do anything for you.
Would I say that? I might have said that before.
Sometimes
I
you
might
say
have said
stuff
that.
you really don't.
Like that.
Well, you know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so I can contact those people to make sure when the Epic option tax thing comes up that they sign that petition.
Okay. There you go.
You're saying that's gonna be worse than what you're doing
Of
now
course it's gonna be
and what
worse,
you
Willard.
have to do now?
Of course.
You gotta do the math, man.
No, it's not. Just think of the gazillions of dollars that we wouldn't be spending on.
On what?
On anything.
It's the same, you're spending the same amount because budgets are gonna be the same.
No, I'm saying,
So it's gonna
it
be a
has nothing to
different
do,
tax.
but in my head, it puts Kirk out of business, which I'm sorry, but, I have nothing against him, I have nothing against, I have none.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking, get rid of all of those, what do you call them, departments and so forth.
And so you have 28 lawmakers from Lincoln and Omaha determining where all the money goes in the
That's
state.
what
You
everybody
think it's gonna
says.
come back here?
That's what.
How do you see it any different?
I think
And you go down
I
the Capitol enough, how do you see that any different?
If not, okay, really what I'm trying to do is work around backwards. Is for you people that don't like Epic to make it bad enough that people stop complaining about their evaluations. If you think about it.
Oh,
All of a sudden, property
Really?
values aren't that big of a deal, because if we do Epic option, that'll be awful.
You know when property values aren't that big a deal? Is when the state steps up and pays for education.
Yeah, there you go.
Property values aren't a big deal.
You don't think I don't know that?
Well, of course.
And then, they're
So
not
promote that.
gonna do that either.
So promote that instead of Epic.
Okay, well, I'm gonna promote it all, and somewhere in the pot, everybody will shut up about everything.
Everybody?
Everybody but me,
There's a caveat there, huh?
something like that.
I hear
I don't remember what the plan with Epic was with is it just sales tax?
Kind of consumption
it.
tax.
Consumption use tax, yeah.
Good morning.
I made those copies and you walked out.
I know. You probably went over there, but that's good. You can come back.
Oh, corporate taxes, okay. That's what the C
Or
is.
not.
And okay, Kelly had 20.
She only had 20? Wow.
She said she talked to a ton of people.
She tossed it.
Until they got,
I was
until they
gonna.
couldn't take it anymore, and then they just.
Oh, this one does. We lost that.
Oh. No, you would eliminate.
Until they couldn't take it
Until
anymore.
they couldn't take it anymore. That's what I said, she didn't say it.
She wore him down. Wore him down to where they just threw up their hands.
All right. So, Mrs. Heine is here. If everybody's ready, we'll just go ahead and take hers up.
All right, let's do it.
I have some pictures for you to look at.
Okay, perfect.
Is some for everybody or the
Yes,
passenger?
I have some for you. Whoa.
Uh,
I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. No,
Can
you're
you
fine.
share a
We'll
little
share.
bit?
We'll share.
Okay,
Here.
all right. I didn't think of the extra ones.
No worries, thank you.
Uh-huh.
You wanna, there you go, that'll work.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Did you want?
Okay, yeah, go ahead and step up there. We'll ask you to swear in and then, All right.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, go ahead and name and address, and then you can present to us.
Okay. Cynthia Heine, and Larry is my husband, and our address is 419A Road O, McCool Junction, which is at Sachs Lake, right on the edge of it. And my protest is that if you see in the pictures, the pheasant house that was allowed to be right across from our house, I feel like that has diminished the value of our property. You can see how close it is. It's just within walking distance, not even. And then there's a little house there that people live in also, which is, to me, very scary situation. And, but anyhow, Kurt had us listed, and he said that he had us listed as property within the association, the lake association. But our property is outside of the lake association, so that makes a difference in the value too. And I have a typo. If you look at the reasons for requested valuation change, it should be 150 feet instead of yards from our property. So, yeah, my husband told me that would be like a football field, and that's not that far. Okay, and I think everything else that you see on the paperwork is like what I would like to have you address.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
You did have a sit down with the assessor
Yes, I did.
about this prior to
Yes.
filing the
Yes, I
protest?
did.
Okay.
That's when he advised me that he thought we were within the lake association, and we are not. We have 4 acres on the east, or the west side of the lake, and that's our property. But it's mostly, the north part is all just trees, along the river there. We have planted a number of trees, and that's kind of our thing, to get trees planted. And we've planted a lot of trees around our house, because when we purchased the house, it was in a foreclosure situation, and it was terrible. It was a real, I should say, dump. But when we saw the sign for sale, we called the realtor and asked if we could go in. And he said, yeah, the doors are open. And this was in February. And the lady that lived there never paid a cent to live there for 5 years. So it was trashed. And we have worked on it for 13 years or so, so. I was gonna have a picture of the house before we started on it. All of the work itself, outside of the garage situation, which is off to the south, we have like a 3-stall garage, but we keep our Bobcat in there and that sort of thing, and then a old tractor, so, yeah.
Very good. Any other comments or questions from the board? Maybe a minute here, he's looking at a few things.
For the numbers you chose, is that just like a certain percentage decrease or from?
Just a number decrease, yeah. Kind of taking it back closer to what it was last year,
Yeah.
yes.
Gotcha.
Because we really haven't done any improvements since we put the garage. You can't see that on the web. I don't know why that's not on the web yet. I looked through satellite and I couldn't even see it, so.
When you built that garage?
Oh. Gosh.
It's on Vanguard.
Your garage is on there.
Is it? Oh, okay. All right. I can't tell you, I don't know for sure. Does it show anything on
You have the
here?
garage being built in 19.
19, okay.
That aerial photography would have been November of 23.
Okay, okay. Well, I didn't look right, I guess then.
Right, if there's no other questions, we will take this information. Kurt will give us a recommendation and we will make a determination at our next meeting.
Okay. I know that you guys are aware of the situation with the pheasant building.
Okay.
Because I spoke with you before on that, so, okay. All right, that's all I have to say.
Okay, very good. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, who we have? Mrs. Bellows?
Bellows,
All right.
but the first one will be for my father's property,
You bet.
Thompson.
Come on up. That would be fine.
Sure.
So that'd be 23, I assume.
Yes, 23. Okay. All right, so we will ask both of you to take an oath and then state your name and we'll go from there.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I do. All right, thanks. All right, so state your name, address, and then we'll go from there.
Cindy Bellows, 1303 North Indiana Avenue here in York. First one will be for 313 South Iowa, which would be my father's property, deceased father's property.
Sure. Okay, go ahead.
So I guess I've never done this before. I should have come early and watched what
No worries.
went on. We're just, with this, we're contesting the extreme raise in the value of the property, the land. I don't think there was a raise or was not a considerable raise in the value of the building. But the property is not over 75% of it is below floodplain. There's a culvert that goes underneath Iowa. So here about a month ago, when we had the creek was way up from all the rains,
that serves, his pasture serves as a release for that, and that it floods into that pasture. So it's doing a service for the city to keep the floodwaters from going up higher. So I guess my thought is, if we can't come to a mutual agreement, maybe that needs to be capped. I know Dad checked it one time, and we're talking, they were on that property, I was 9 months old, so 65 years. And at one time, somebody suggested to him to bring in dirt and raise that up, and he was told he couldn't do that because it would change everybody else's. So I guess for one, I was kind of interested as to why such an extreme jump in the value, and speculation was because of the property around sold for a very high amount, just here in the last 6 months, maybe a year. But that property isn't anything like this property. That property's all higher up. It doesn't flood. It also included at least, and I'm being very conservative, $500,000 to $700,000 house sitting on all that land. So it's kind of like, not even comparing apples to oranges. It's like, just sometimes I don't get how you come up with some of your comparisons. So the numbers that I kind of ran through, trying to be fair and understanding that there's got to be some kind of a raise, and we had an appraisal done by Mr. Burnham in January. Because of my dad passing away, we needed an idea of what the value of the house was, because them being there 65 years, we knew the property had went up. So he came up with between 150,000 and 180, put 180 on the appraisal. So I kind of took the numbers and used what you guys did for formulas, and that's where I came up with 171 would be what we, sounded fair,
Sure.
so to speak. So that's pretty much it on that one, unless you have some
questions?
So you mentioned, you asked a question about why. Had you talked to the assessor's office?
Yes.
Okay. So then you did get the answer of
Well,
why. Disagree with it.
all I got was numbers.
Okay.
On how things are done by square foot.
Right.
That to me seems like an awfully wet blanket to throw on this square foot that you can't use for anything other than to enjoy and look at, versus this square foot that you can sell for a lot and put a house on. That those values shouldn't be the same.
Okay. So that's what I was saying, but you
Yes.
did get an answer.
Yes.
Whether you disagree with it or not, you did get an
Right.
answer of why. Okay. I don't have anything else, Daniel,
Okay.
on that one. If we're doing another one, what the
Yep.
number?
Any questions? Okay, so we can go on to the next
Okay.
one,
45.
45.
Okay, and that one's just on our property, and I guess we had a raise in our value a few years ago. That's the one thing I didn't get a time to do my research on. And the little pamphlet that came with it said that York was supposed to have a 3% raise. Well, when I did my math, our raise was more like a 9% raise. And I guess I was kind of questioning why we're getting hit twice with more than 3 times the amount each.
Very good. I think the 3% was an average over the map areas that, so in valuation group 1, map areas 3 and 4, an average of 3%. So some were more, some were less, based on review from the assessor's office. So I think that could be the discrepancy there. Now, specifically on your property, I'm not sure exactly what caused yours to be in the higher of those.
I'll ask the same, I guess,
Okay,
on this one. Did you visit with Kurt about
No,
grade
this one was,
condition, making sure bathrooms, making sure everything?
there's
was-
been nothing done, the house has not changed.
But what
in
I
years.
guess what I'm saying is the property card that he has, that gives the details of your property, what he's using to assess, did that go over to make sure everything was the same? Meaning, like his property card could say you have 3 bathrooms, hey, we only have 2.
Okay,
Information like that.
When she was in, we just talked about her father's.
yes, I didn't come
parcel.
back in for
We didn't
for
talk, we didn't
this.
visit about this, you came in
Yes,
afterwards.
yeah, and
Okay.
just, this was a home, oh, we should look and see what ours went up. Wait a minute, that's
Okay.
not 3%, that's way more than 3%.
Okay.
And it was the timeline to just get the paperwork filled
Get
out
it
and
done.
turned in.
Yeah, 'cause that was filed on the 30th.
Was, yeah,
So my assumption is you're gonna, all the 49 that we have, you're gonna review all of those protests and make sure and reach out with any questions or possible inspections that he would go.
well, and then my question is, if you're evaluating the house at this, and like, let's say, we haven't done anything, we haven't added anything. So in 2020, it had 2.5 bathrooms. And we haven't come in and put in a building permit or done, haven't added or anything. Then wouldn't you assume, I guess my assumption would be it still has 2.5 bathrooms in 2026.
But it could have
So,
been wrong before this assumption.
I was just using that as an
Okay, all right.
example, just to make sure that what you truly have is what is listed on
Okay.
on the information that Kurt has to go by. So, and then the grade and condition, matters too.
Right.
It's the grade, the basement, the finish of the basement, just, those are just examples, just to make sure all the information, because the information can be wrong. And then that could skew the value just. a little.
okay.
So do you have an email address? Or
Yeah, I do, but, and you,
you want to write it down, so we're not, let's say it out loud on that.
oh, that part doesn't bother me because I'm not a tech user.
Oh, okay. If you prefer me to call you, I can certainly do that.
Yes, that
Okay,
would be
let's do that.
better. You will get a much better response. I may look at my emails once every 3 weeks.
That's fine. All right.
And don't ask me about texting. So I don't have none of them.
Very good.
No, but to Randy's point, I would make sure you review your card because we have found that for one reason or another, whether it's.
So those can get changed over
They
the
can.
years?
They can accidentally, inadvertently once in a while. And a lot of this stuff is data transfer type things and doesn't always, we've seen it happen a couple times where all of a sudden someone had an extra bathroom or an extra acre of farm ground that has never existed, and just make sure you dot all the i's, across all the t's, and make sure that information's correct.
Okay.
There's a lot of.
So where do you go about finding this information that you need to know?
Come by the office this week and we can sit down and talk about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. There's not a,
You can look at it on the.
You can look online.
I
Yeah,
mean,
if you're
that,
on the World Wide Web, but if you'd rather come just sit down in my office
Okay.
and visit about it, we can certainly do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right. I guess I've gotten that kind of body picture.
Yep, well, and the information's only as good as what we have, and being, we're not allowed to come in and inspect.
Sure,
And so
no,
it
right.
could have been wrong from the very beginning, before you owned the house possibly even. So it's just good to review that and make
Okay.
sure that everything's
All
good.
right,
All right, perfect. Thanks for coming
All right.
in.
you bet, thank you.
so let's see.
Who wasn't
We've
coming
gone
in?
through those, Dwayne, well, yeah.
Next one, she's unable to make the.
So our next schedule is at 11 o'clock.
Good thing I got some food.
There you go.
You guys just want to recess until the next person shows up?
I think this time, yeah, we'll recess for now unless there's opposition.
I imagine the next group of people will be.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Recording. We'll come back in just a second. And, Patty, I assume, correct?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
very good, thanks. So we will ask you to take an oath and then your name and address.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, and sorry,
Patty Warner, 1812 Road 6, Nebraska.
perfect, thank you. And we're looking at protest number 32 and 33.
And I don't remember which one was first.
Doesn't matter, which is, as long as we know which one we're going through. The first one was 3120 South Lincoln.
3120 went to South Lincoln. Okay, we can start there. So the current valuation is for $609,083. And a couple things I would like, do I address you as the board or
That's fine, yeah. Yep.
to consider?
Yep.
Is one, the condition of the property. So I'm not sure if anyone has been out there recently, but I would say the condition, the house is poor. In fact, in Cindy Nichols' words, it's unlivable. And so we're still in the process of trying to decide what to do with that. The basement has mold. You can see daylight through portions of it. It's cracked. So basically the basement, in my opinion, is unsalvageable. So we're left trying to decide what to do. The upstairs has not been updated at all. Stained carpet, smelly. All the windows are screwed shut. So yeah, the house is in poor condition. Also, I think it's listed as a 2-bathroom. To my knowledge, there's only 1 bathroom. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. So anyway, also, I'm not for sure. I'm still learning how the website works, but I'm not exactly sure how many buildings are being assessed on there. So the carports are gone. The machine sheds out to the north are gone. I'm not sure if those are listed. It's kind of hard to tell for sure from the website. The only ones that remain are the house in poor condition, the Marble Museum. There's like a long garage right next to the Marble Museum, and then a kind of like one of those portable little buildings that they sell. It's got a red roof and it's kind of on the north side of the house, and that's actually going to be moved off here shortly. It's just a matter of figuring out how to get it moved because it's a little large. So those are all considerations. The museum itself is okay. I wouldn't consider it in great condition. Again, feel free to go out there. It needs a lot of work and updating, and where the greenhouse was attached to the back, when they demolished the greenhouse, they just kind of tore it off. So we're going to have to do something with that back wall because there's lots of holes in the tin. The gutters are not working, so we've got to repair all that. So water is leaking in the basement. There's just like a little crawl, like a small area underneath a portion of it, and so there's water leaking in. So there's just lots to be done on that property. So the other thing I would like you to consider is the adjacent property to the south with McLean's. And so that property is valued, let me look here, 5.38 acres. It's valued at roughly $25,000 an acre for a total of $136,667 for the entire 5.38 acres. Ours is valued at $65,000 an acre. So our 5.1 acres is $330,000. So that's and they're basically equivalent properties. There's just grass, nothing. So I'm not sure why the 2.5 times rate valuation for similar property. So those are the things I would ask you to consider on that property. Also, as far as the Marble Museum itself, another comparable parcel to consider would be the Scott Corrigan building. And that one is significantly larger. It is valued at more, but the rate is, that one's valued at roughly $23 a square foot. It's hard to calculate because there is a portion that is climate controlled and then a portion that is not. The climate control portion is still larger than our entire building. And then on top of that, they also have an additional over 3,800 square feet of, my understanding is non-conditioned space. So I don't know how you calculate that. In my poor calculations, I came up with $23 a square foot. Meanwhile, the Marble Museum is valued at approximately $50 a square foot. So again, I just ask for equivalent valuations.
Comments and questions? Yeah.
I need to clear something up. Randy had asked about during the over-under report,
Yes.
if the Marble Museum on the report, in fact, was associated with Mourner's protest. It's the same parcel, but again, that one was just correcting the land size on the over-under report. So it went from 5.09 acres to 2.78 acres.
So, and I don't understand that.
And that's the survey we got.
That doesn't make sense, because if you add up the square feet, that if you do the math, it comes up to 5.1 acres.
Okay,
So I'm thinking he's got some wrong math on
Did
that.
you ask for that survey or?
We did ask for that survey, but the funny thing is they just did the survey, they put the flags out, they never gave us a copy of this before
Okay.
the sale.
Have
So
you got in touch with Mr. Hayes yet?
we have not yet.
Okay.
No, so we need to do that. Yeah, I have no idea, because if you add the dimensions, if you multiply those to get this rough area, because you got, curve
Sure.
aside there, and then divide that by the square footage in an acre, it comes up to 5.1 acres. So I was gonna ask you guys if you knew why it was off. So yeah, maybe that might be something you want to hold off on until we hear back from you.
Well, we didn't. So. But, get those surveys in your office that they.
Right, you act on the survey.
You act on the surveys,
Yeah.
so. And Ms. Mortar did stop by my office and.
Okay.
Visit with me about this, and I think we had talked about scheduling a time to go out and look at those properties.
Yeah.
Perfect. That would be another question I had, so that's
Yep,
good.
that's all I had, was about that.
All right, perfect.
And then clearing up the survey,
Yep.
because obviously that's gonna affect it too.
Okay, perfect. We'll move on. Thank you for that information, and we'll go to number 33, which is 919 Country Club.
Okay. That one again, just comparing, similar properties in the neighborhood. If you let's see, it's parcel number 930059093. So if you just go to the country club and go around the corner. Well, it's basically right across the street from the country club. It is also a fourplex. It was built in 1971, whereas ours, I believe, was 1983. Or, I'm sorry, 84. So there is a little bit of difference in the year. But and again, this is hard to compare equivalently because, you have concrete in there and different things, but just in general, the building comes to somewhere between $60 and $64 a square foot, whereas ours is valued at $86 a square foot. Both are considered above normal condition. So.
Can you give me that number again? So
Yes,
you've used it for
yes.
comparison.
9300
Yep.
59093.
Thank you. Is that the only comparable you have?
No, I also have another one. Let me say that. I can either give you the address or I can see my.
If you have the property ID, that'd be great.
9300 32934.
Thank you.
So that property was built in 1983, so just 1 year earlier. It is a threeplex instead of a fourplex. But again, rough calculations, I'm coming to just over $50 a square foot. Again, my calculations could be off based on, concrete. I did not include that in the assessment comparing area and all that, so that was a little bit more involved than I wanted to go.
You said that was a threeplex.
That was a threeplex, yeah.
The other one was a four.
The other one is a fourplex, yes. Both are 2 stories, just like ours. Also, if you look at the first property I mentioned, it was sold in 2018 for $275,000. The current valuation is actually less at $266,000. So since 2019, it's actually gone down in value.
And do you feel on these then, that would you like an inspection on these properties too? Or do you feel these properties need an inspection like the Marble Museum properties?
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing significantly, it's not like the Marble Museum where I feel.
The grade condition is in question.
Right.
Okay.
I don't dispute that the condition of our building is above normal. Normal, I guess, would be my, I don't know the difference between above normal and normal. But I don't argue it's in good condition. I just, again, I just ask that, this other fourplex here is also considered the same condition as ours. I didn't even look at what the condition of the threeplex was considered on here. But for the same grade and that, I guess I question why the square footage assessment is so different. And it's basically within a stone's throw, almost. Depends on how far you can throw.
Any comments or questions? All right, perfect. Appreciate you coming in, giving us this information. Yeah, you and Kurt can work out when to do an inspection on that first one.
Okay.
And then, we'll take his recommendations and review them at our next meeting.
Okay, great.
All right.
And so how long does it take for decisions to be made? I've never gone through this.
Sure. So we, the process is you come in, share your information. Kurt reviews that. We will review it as well. But Kurt makes a recommendation on whether there should be a change or no change. And then we will make the ultimate determination of if there should be a change or not. And that that decision will be made on the 21st.
Okay,
And then you'll get a notice of what our decision is. You're welcome to come to that meeting. It's open, it's public on the 21st. And then if you disagree with what determination this board makes, you have the option to appeal that to the state. And then the state would review it as well.
okay,
All right,
sounds good.
very
Thanks
good.
so much.
Thanks.
But the city takes 4 years, so.
Yeah.
That means they don't have to pay property taxes in that time.
August 24th.
The deadline
Okay.
to file.
Yep.
Appeal the term.
Perfect. That's good to mention. Yep.
All
So,
right,
yeah.
thanks a
all
lot.
right, thank you. Okay, let's see. I don't believe Mr. Malik is here. Leo Kringle?
Yep.
All right.
I think, did you want John or Leo?
I have Leo Kringle next. Sorry.
All right. Sorry, John. You gotta wait longer.
I've never had to wait at meetings
All right. Taking up protest number 31, it looks like.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Just state your name and address for us, and then we can get started.
My name is Leo Kringle. I live at 2428 East 16th Street here in York.
Perfect, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, I mean, my main issue really is the fact that I live in the Peters, whatever, development up there by Minks Park. You know, all those houses were built, all within 2 to 3 years of each other. Okay, we're all relatively the same size. We're all pretty new. You know, I looked at all the valuations, and I think you have the information I gave to Kurt, and kind of put it down there. And I don't understand why all the properties in and near the cul-de-sac I live in, I went up, my building went up $10,000, and almost all the other buildings either stayed the same or decreased in value. What was it about my house from one year to the next that caused the value of my building to increase by $10,000? I mean, my total valuation went up almost $30,000. 6 of the other 10 properties on that list decreased in value. We're all about the same size. I mean, there's some a little bit bigger, some a little bit smaller. But why was kind of my property singled out to have this big raise in value? And I'm just looking for a fairness issue here. I just don't get it. There's got to be a justification. You know, it can't be just that, okay, let's take this property and increase it. I mean, it doesn't work that way. So what's the justification for the huge increase in value from one year to the next when all the comparable properties around me decreased in value? I don't understand that. And that, I mean, that's my main issue, is like a fairness issue here. It's like, what is it? Justify that, okay, your property increased in value, the building by $10,000, the whole property by almost $30,000. And here's the justification for it. To this point, I've not heard that. So that's really what I'm looking for.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that's what we're here for, is to figure out whether or not you're being fairly assessed, and so, that's good information to have. I'm glad to have the comparables and so that we can take a look at all of that. I don't know if, did you sit down with Kurt prior?
Yeah, we
Okay.
talked a few times.
Okay, very good, very good. And is there specific, did you identify a specific reason on this one?
No, I just hadn't had time to look over it yet, but he did give me the spreadsheet that he gave me
Perfect.
that showed the difference in values and everything, so
Okay.
we're well aware of his concerns.
Yes. Comments, questions from the board?
No, I think this is one that Kurt was gonna look into that area, so.
Do you have anything in?
I don't.
Okay, all right, perfect. So yes, appreciate your information. We'll review it. Kurt is gonna review what you've shared with us. And then, yeah, we'll take those recommendations. We'll review that and make a determination at our next meeting.
All right, that's all
Okay,
I asked for.
perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, John, come on up. All right, so again, we'll have you swear in and then go from there.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, so yeah, if you could just state name and address.
Okay, I'm John Turnbull, live at 711 North Main, here in York.
Perfect, thanks. Looking at protest number 34. All right, go ahead.
Okay, this is, property is parts of lots 1 and 2 of block 17, College Edition. The valuation currently was $5,968. The proposed new is $23,874, which is about 6 times of an increase. Last year, it was adjusted from $2,984 to $5,968, so it just doubled the year before. My concern is that this particular piece of property is severely restricted for any kind of development because of its location and what's going on with that. It sits right west of Main Avenue. If you go north on Main from 6th Street, there's a big box culvert. And when you're on top of that box culvert, if you look to the west, you're looking at this property. It's restricted because about 3/4 of that land or more is unusable because it's in a designated floodplain, designated floodway, and there's a City of York easement for a 16 by 95 foot box culvert. And that easement was acquired by the city because they need to put in 17 feet of road fill from the original grade to the street elevation. And that's on a 3-to-1 slope. And 3-to-1 slope, my best description of that would be if you go to Recharge Lake and look at the dam, the downstream face of that dam is a 3-to-1 slope. How do I know that? I was a manager at NRD for 38 years. I dealt with that. So it's very steep. It's not accessible by vehicles. And if you try to put a driveway in, you're going to have to run a fill quite a ways west to get a reasonable grade to get out. The lot is 104 feet from west to east with that 17 foot of fill on the east side. Okay, so I've included with the stuff that I submitted to you, original survey of the city easement, which yes, you got it on the screen there. And then on the next page, I submitted some photos also. Yeah, there you go, that one. That's our house at 711 Main. North is to the top. And then if you just scroll down a little bit there, now you can see the subject property where the crosshatching is, and that's based on some old flood mapping. I believe, Kurt, there's a more recent flood mapping done in the last couple of years. At any rate, that steep slope is where the yellow is. That's the city easement, and the rest is in the floodplain. To the north of that is a natural hill, which is also very steep. It goes up to the house. So the house is quite a bit higher than that property. Okay, if you can go to the next one. There is the current flood map. And you can see lots 1 and 2 that are designated there. We own the north 40 feet of lot 2, so that blue area is outside of our property. But the rest of the crosshatch areas is the actual floodway, which no construction can take place in without a core permit. And that probably is not going to happen in that property. And outside of that is the floodplain. Yes, you could build in the floodplain if you have your lowest opening above the 100-year floodplain or the 1% chance of the year. But again, you're up against the steep hill slope on the north side, so it's just really not a usable property. We own it, because we wanted to maintain it, to keep it from being overgrown, and we didn't want somebody else to get it and start piling stuff down there. So it's, to us, it's just part of our yard system, but it's not suitable for building. If you can scroll down a little bit more, now at that photo that's on the left side, you'll see a split rail fence. That is across the east end of the property from south to north in that photograph. That's the 2 lots. So that gives you a real good view if you happen to drive up there. Now scroll down just a little bit right there. That photograph is looking at the twin box culvert from the west end of the property looking east. You can see the road fill. The red lines left and right are the property boundaries to our home to the left, and to the right side is for Jake Shaw and his family to the right. I think I'd rather answer questions than say only more. I didn't try to do a cross-check with other properties because like this one's unusual. It's got a lot of floodplain, a lot of floodway on it, plus a big easement and a big road fill. So I don't know about comparables to come up with for you.
Okay.
But I'm convinced if somebody wants to pay me $24,000 for that property, we can make a deal in about 30 seconds.
John, had you talked to Kurt in advance?
Kurt and I talked last year about the same situation. So I haven't changed anything except try to update this information from then.
Okay.
But I have not talked to Kurt this year about it.
Those properties being in the same subdivision can be merged into one property, which with the new matrix, Kurt, had you had time to look at that at all?
I just was looking at the same thing.
Okay. So they could be merged into one property, and then it's a tiered system where the square footage, when you add land, like the first 10,000 square feet is so much, and then the next is so much and down.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the tiers last year, as I recall, Kurt.
Okay.
On this particular piece is about a fourth of an acre.
Right.
So it's fairly small. 104 by about 100, about 10,000 square feet.
Like that we have 9,549.
Yeah, I just roughed it out. It's best maintained as an open space.
Other questions?
Right now, no.
All right, perfect. Appreciate the information, and we'll review that and go from there.
Okay, thank you much
All right.
for your time.
Thank you. All right. She's coming later, possibly.
Just another case of obsolescence.
Might have
I was just gonna look at that.
her, let's try to call him, see if he's gonna come. Because he was supposed to be here at 11.
Yeah, there was a 75% off. 75% off.
Your predecessor is bound home. Did you get a text?
Maybe.
Maybe. I left it in the office.
That's a good place to leave it. Made it to Lincoln 11.
Glad she wasn't deleting it today. She was reading it.
I thought maybe she went to Turkey with Trump while she was there.
When can you do over the over-under, can you continue to do over-unders up until certification time?
You have to approve those by
21st?
25th of July as well.
Well, yeah, our 21st meeting.
Right now, I don't have any scheduled for the next meeting unless someone comes in yet.
Were you gonna do the math on this one?
I certainly can. I think on Ms. Katz, I was going to as well.
Do you know which, is that on here, Kurt, which, mapping area, is that on Vanguard?
I don't think you're all shows up. Let's have a look at the public.
Protest number 30 is on their way, so we'll hang out here for a minute or two.
The others are just no show.
Yep,
was
Stacy
Drew
will
and one
come
called.
later.
Fort
And
Wayne's
the other-
coming later.
Yep. The other one withdrew and the others have been here. Okay.
It does show that, Randy.
What's that?
Okay, so as I'm looking at their York Residential 4. Got it. Yeah, I overlooked it the last time. Yeah, I'm just on this page here.
Here's 26.
So when we look at that, the next 20, it drops it in half.
And he's got 3 parcels right there that also
So that would,
touch.
then it would drop it to 30
He's got the parcel to the south and the parcel
and
to
to
the
the
west.
west. Right.
31.
We have a,
Here's 30.
I have a parcel in my working file that,
32.
that I created that's just for,
45.
figuring this kind of stuff. It's just call it the dummy parcel. If someone wants to know, like, what would the value be of a, 30 by 50 garage, if they're thinking about building one, I can kind of, give them an estimate of the value on something like that pretty quick. So we could certainly do that with land too.
So when I'm looking at his occupied piece, it's 44,813. So he's already into the
Oh, I'm curious.
the third level on that one. Because it's 10, 20, and then,
His parcel to the south is maybe what, a third or a quarter of this one that's improved. So,
right, but if his main one where the house is, says it's 44,813 square feet. So wouldn't that take him to the third level already into that parcel? Because it's 10, the first is 10,000, the second is
it's the next
20,000.
20,000, so I think
And
over
then
30,000 square feet would take.
So then that
third
would-
tier.
So if he brought that piece into it, it would be assessed at 30 cents a square foot, just like the other piece.
Right,
The next door is 50,000,
right.
so there would be, the math says do it. Had you started doing some, I thought this was the first year of the tier.
Last year was.
Last year was the first of the tier.
We didn't catch all the land obsolescences last year, this year, so. That's why.
Ding a ding a ding.
put it back, 24. Yes.
You're gonna have busy. You said you were gonna get that information to us a week ahead of time. You're gonna have a busy week.
Okay.
No big deal, right? Had anybody canceled for tonight ahead of time?
Not that we've heard.
How many
Lindsay,
were scheduled for?
nine of them.
Nine.
Lindsay's gonna call each of them and say,
Make sure.
come at 5:30 if you can, and
That'd be great. That'd be super.
Final protester is protesting 3 parcels,
Right.
and again, we have them scheduled for 3 10-minute slots, so.
Garrett, you go on the meeting tonight?
I just sent a message to Amy.
Are you going to?
I'll be here at 5:30.
You're gonna tell them it's the first couple of.
If we start at 5:30.
Yeah, I'm gonna go after. I wish I wouldn't have sent what I just sent now.
If you're gonna
No,
change
I
the
just saw
rules,
that.
I'd
say come and
Allow
sign
it.
in. And
sign in and go by the sign-up sheet.
Anticipate getting over there, Andy.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the last 3 are gonna be right, the same issue that I've heard. That single area has got to do that area, and this
This-
area.
Right, exactly. Nope.
Squeaky door.
That's where the woods will come out when we get home.
There was a reason it never got old. Hey,
For a reason, yeah.
Joe and myself did go upstairs and take.
Did you get the network settled while you were up there?
Looked like it was working fine.
Okay, sweet.
Busy with that project, I forgot about it.
No worries. Come on in.
Right here, good?
That'll work. We'll
All
just
right.
dive right in. We'll have you take an oath and then we'll go from there.
You got it.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, so just state your name, address, and we'll go go from there.
My name is Daniel Malik at 435 South Paradise Lane in here in York, Nebraska.
Perfect. Okay. What can you tell us about your protest?
Just as I wrote there, lived here 26 years. I've never filed a protest. Always thought things were fair. And, just the price of the lot is what really surprised me because right now, to the best of my knowledge, they're selling still $55,000 for a daylight lot. And ours, maybe the assessor thought that we had a walkout, but it's just a daylight. And they're $55,000. The price of the lot went up to 70. I don't know if you guys got the paper in front of you or not, but it went up to 71 or something like that. And so just that alone we thought was really, really high. It was almost a double in value for the valuation of the lot. That was the main concern. Still thought that the price of where the home was assessed at seemed very high as well. We still have not finished out our basement, and I was just surprised that it was a 10% increase in valuation over last year when Zillow says, "Hey, congratulations, you went up by 1%." So I was like, okay, hold on, well, what's different? So that's it. I just wanted to bring it to your attention, and I appreciate you listening.
Perfect. Had you talked previously to filing with the assessor's office? Have you had a conversation with Kurt?
I've not had a conversation with him. I don't know, did you come to the assessor's window to visit with anybody?
I just got the paperwork.
Okay, all right.
Yep, very good. Do we know anything stand out on this one?
No,
Okay.
I haven't.
Yep.
Most of these, so.
Okay, very good. All right.
You said it's not a walkout basement?
No, it's a daylight basement. You can't walk out.
Comments, questions from the board?
Sorry to take you away from your project.
Thank you. No, thank you for taking me away.
If it's pulling weeds, I got some projects.
I've had plenty of that. Little cracks in the sidewalk filling and
Right.
stuff like that. Okay.
I mean, I don't know, it sounds like we'll look at a couple things I'm hearing, so we'll be able to go over that.
Yeah, so just so you're kind of aware of what the process is, we take your statements, we'll review everything you've submitted, Kurt reviews everything, and then he gives us a recommendation as to whether value should stay, change, or what needs to be done there. We will make a determination at our next meeting on the 21st. You can come if you wish, it's an open meeting, but you'll get a notification in the mail on what our determination is. And then if you disagree with what we determine, you do have the ability to file that or appeal that to the state. And then they would review it as well. That deadline would be August 24th to file that appeal.
Sounds good.
Okay, thanks for coming in.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
Okay. All right, anything else for this morning? So we will recess until 5:30. We're gonna call the protesters for 5:30 and just ask them to arrive at or around 5:30, and we'll take them first come, first serve. If there's a reason that they cannot show up until their time, we'll work with that, but just to keep things flowing a little smoothly this afternoon, maybe.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Just so you're aware, so the meeting on the 21st, there's going to be discuss and act on the protests. There were 3 Form 425s that were filed with, they were filed with my office. They need to be filed with the clerk's office, as we found out. But anyways, those were filed. Those were all structure fires, so you need to take action on those. There were some permissive exemptions that were filed before the July 1st deadline. You can file, typically the deadline on those is December 31st, but if there was a change for whatever reason, you can reapply. So there'll be I think all the Region 5 that are now at PACE, they all changed their names and on their deeds and everything, so they're reapplying. And then there's the Church on Delaware, First Lutheran, their daycare closed there, so they're reapplying to make the whole thing exempt. So there's those. I think that's it. Barring a over under report or something.
Sure.
Like that, but But I will work with Daniel on that agenda.
Fun times.
If you do inspections, which I'm guessing you're gonna do some, and you want somebody to write with,
Yeah, if you guys are
Call me.
interested, let me know.
I'll wait to hear from you if you want to, like I said.
I know some other counties, if it's someone's commissioner district, they'll have you go
Sure.
along, just to see what it's like. So if you guys are interested, just let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
Polk had 70.
What's that?
Polk had 70.
Protests?
Mhm.
Colfax had 200. Buffalo,
They're usually way up there.
I talked to Roy yesterday. They were down under 100.
Huh?
But that's, I think they were in the 90s, but that's good for them.
Right.
Yeah, they're usually way.
They were 200 last year, 300 the year before that. And back when Ethel was there, they were in the thousands. So
That's impressive.
All right, we will recess till 5:30 this evening.
they had
Bringing snacks.